Hi, in this episode we start learning Ember in practice. First, we'll look into Ember Starter Kit from official Ember website, then we'll add our own routes and see how they work, and lastly, we'll see how we can connect these routes for user by using link to Handlebars Ember helper. So, let's get started. Let's go to Ember website to the Ember.js.com and download and extract this starter kit. I did it behind the scenes and open it in Sublime Text, so let's have a look. So we have index.html file with minimal HTML page. So here in the head section of a page, character set and title are defined, and also included two CSS files, normalize and style. Then at the bottom of the page, before closing body tag, we include jQuery, handlebars, Ember, and include the application itself. And also here we have the runner for running tests. So other two scripts on this page are templates, and we'll look into them in a bit. Okay, by far very simple and standard HTML page, nothing fancy. Where does the magic happen then? Of course, in application.js file. So we go to js, app.js, and here where it happens. So the first line here makes everything work. It creates Ember application, instantiate router, and renders application template. It also creates two routes by default: application route, the parent of them all, and index route, which is responsible for main page route. And as you already know, if we have a route, then we have a template as well. So if we have two routes, we have two templates. It's all done automatically by Ember, and we can't see all these objects Ember created for us. But to make you believe me, let's install Ember Inspector and see with our own eyes that I'm not lying to you. So we go to the Chrome Web Store and search for Ember Inspector, and let's install it. It's free, and now we have it. Excellent. So now, if we open this index.html page in browser and open our developer tools by going to View, Developer Tools, and we open this Ember tab, Ember application not detected. Why so? We clearly have this Ember application here. In console you can see that I'm using the Ember application 1.5.1, but Ember Inspector does not see it. And that happens because Chrome is a little bit more on a security side, and right now we do not have any server, but we have this file. So we need to go to Options, Tools, Extensions, and on this extensions page in Ember Inspector, we need to check this checkbox, allow access to file URLs. Now, after I've done this and reload the page, you will see that Ember Inspector works. Let's go to routes, and you can see that I told you the truth. We have application route and application controller classes, as well as application template. We have index, the same thing here, index route, controller, and index template, and also to loading and error, which we'll look into a little bit later. So I was truthful. So let's go back to editor and back to index.html file. So right here we have these two templates, okay, the first one and the second one. The first one is application template, and for it we do not need to provide any name, but we could do something like ID application. But that's not required, so by default, any script with type text/x-handlebars and without ID is considered to be application template. This template serves as layout template quite often, so it could have header and footer markup and navigation, etc. Here we just have this h2 tag, which will be rendered in all application, and then we define outlet. This means that all sub-templates of this application template will be rendered in place of this outlet expression. Like here with this index template. So we define it, and index template is the sub-template of application template. So if we go back to Inspector, you can see that we have application, and index is the sub-route of application route. And that means that template is sub-template of the application one. So all this content from here will be rendered right into here. Okay, so here in index template, we iterate through collection and render an ordered list of them. And as we saw in previous episode, route object is the one responsible for connecting template with modal. So let's go back to app.js file, and you can see here that we defined index route, and also we defined the modal hook, and this modal is just the array of simple strings. And that's it. So if we go to the browser right now, you can see that we have now here the h2 tag and then the list of the items from our model. Let's add additional item just for fun, just to see that it really actually works. So we go right here and let's add here the brown. Let's save it and reload the page. And you can see now that we have brown. Excellent, it works. And it actually connected with the model. Also, we have tests folder. So if you go back, you can see here that we have tests. And inside of this tests folder, we have tests.js file. And basically, all of this thing here is just the setup where we set up Ember application for testing, then we define the module for integration tests, and also we have the setup and teardown just for Ember application to work properly in testing environment, and then we have the test itself, and it's a very easy test. We just visit index page, and then we make sure that we have h2 tag and list items of 3. So how to see the results of the testing? All we need to do is go back to browser, and right here, just add test. And you can see that we are failing. And of course we're failing because we added another color into our model. So we need to change the test to make it pass. So instead of 3, we actually expect 4. And now we're green. So this is what Ember Starter Kit gives us right out of the box. Now let's get our feet wet and create our own routes and templates. Say we want to have 2 routes. About and contact, 2 pages. To define them, let's go to editor and we go to app.js file, and right here where comments tells us to put your routes here, we will go to put our routes. So we define this route and then the name of the route, and we call it about. So this simple one-liner will create about route, about controller, about view, and about template. So all of these things will be created by Ember automatically. So let's make sure that this is actually the case in Ember Inspector. So if we go back to browser, I'm going to go to index page, so remove this test from here, and open Ember Inspector, and go to routes, and you can see, yes, we have the about route, and we have about route object and about controller object, as well as about template, and URL is about. Okay, that's nice. So the same thing we can do for the second route, which we call contact. Okay, that was easy. So now we need to go back to index.html and let's here define new template. Okay, the first is about, and we just define it as h1 about, and the second one is contact, which is h1 contact. Okay, so now we have routes and we have templates. So let's go to the browser and have a look. And let's go to contact page, and we can see here the contact or about, and we can see about. Excellent, it works. So now we can create static web pages powered by Ember. This is a little overkill, but a good way to start. Now let's add simple navigation from page to page. And for that, in application template, we need to define 2 links. So we go back, and right here in application template, that is one without the ID. Let's define nav tag, and inside of it, we'll define 2 links. And we're going to use handlebar helper link 2 for that, like this. And this helper takes route name as a parameter. So for example, about. Next, the link text, and then we need to close this link to helper. This is one way to do that with the link to helper. Another format that we can use if we have such a simple links, we just can do the link to without this hash sign at the beginning. So if we do not have this hash sign, then we will not have the closing tag. So we will have only one tag. In this format, the first parameter is the link text itself, so contact, and the second one is the actual route, like such. Of course, you should be consistent and not making two different links like this, but for illustration purposes, I'll leave it like this. So if you go back to browser and reload the page, you'll see two links, about and contact. So when I go to about, I'm on about page, I'm on a contact page, and it works. Okay, so it's time for you to practice a little bit. The assignment is very easy, just to practice stuff we covered in this episode. So just create a simple static website with several pages like contact and about and the main page. You can add some bootstrap styling to make it prettier. Okay, in this episode we walked through Ember Starter Kit and learned how to create our own routes and templates. Also, we used link to helper for the first time. So thank you very much for your time and see you in the next episode.